Somebody ought to.
I'm old
So
school, and
a lot of
that's what
times
I was
Linda
taught.
will,
Well,
she'll ask me questions, and I'm like, why are you asking me? You're supposed to know those.
It's most gracious.
I don't want to train that thing all over.
No. And I'm like, okay, we need to get together next week. And
Just water.
you know,
It's just water.
it's like,
right
okay,
there at the
sit
top.
down, let's read the statute.
I mean, it's right there.
And we'll, you know, and so it's like, we read the statute.
Yeah, yeah.
and we're
He was
like,
part of that
this
little
way for that.
party that
It's
they
like
had.
literally, I love the word
Reminded me of my
decipher.
sister-in-law.
Is this like,
Reminded me of my sister.
Oh, yeah.
Sister-in-law?
whose
When,
opinion
is
do,
that a
you
good
know,
thing?
Yeah.
It's a funny thing.
literally
This
deciphering, you know.
we had a barbecue,
The purpose of legal writing.
and Linda.
Right, exactly.
Excuse me, she's
Have to divide it.
I know.
Oh, so that's how you. Oh, I said, you reminded me of it, okay. Right. We used to do barbecue in the front yard.
Oh, they,
It says, until you pass your bottle of water.
Should have been handled, right, legally.
Thinking about this, and I handed it to her.
Yes.
She goes like this.
and keep up with your mileage, because we'll reimburse you for it. Did you call about
I
that?
thought I'm gonna die laughing.
Did you call about that MML?
No. Should I call?
What's all this MML? Something.
And I remind you of it. No, just when you back it off.
Oh, yes. I Googled it.
Sprite or
And then I think a squirrel ran by. And
Oh,
I,
Missouri Municipal League, but I don't think y'all are not
She
members.
wasn't there, she worked,
I
she,
am.
back then, she,
Linda is. I think that's a city we are, but I
early,
don't think.
it's dermatology?
it's not responsible.
Dermatology, Rick, or the doctor here in
If
town.
you're like
Yeah.
a lawyer, or if
Back in the seventies or eighties.
you're like a
All right, and so she
CPA or
worked
something,
with
you
doctors.
have to have like
When I got married, we lived next door.
credits. You can probably use this
One night
class
she
for
said she
something
didn't
like
feel
that.
good.
I have that one.
Need the-
I have two, but it has to do with
tailgate parties, I didn't need
I don't think we're
threats,
supposed
I
to
didn't need.
constitute.
It looks like I get emails in my other inbox from Missouri Municipal. Even worse. I don't know what to say, because I haven't actually opened them.
We run in there, she's foaming at the mouth. She ate the pills. She tried to.
But yeah, now that I think about it, it was.
Because I knew it was too big to swallow, so I broke it.
All right, at 6 o'clock, time to start the meeting. If we would rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and a brief prayer.
I wish it weren't so, but. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mark or Bill, whichever.
Go ahead, Bill. Heavenly Father, we gathered in this house today, Lord, and we pray for your blessing here and to fill the room with your wisdom. Lord, make us succinct, move through the business at hand efficiently, and address the matters that matter to the city of St. James and the citizens therein. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Praise for shortness.
All right, moving on to the approval of the regular council meeting, April 15th, 2026. Any additions or corrections? Not, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Mark makes a motion,
Second.
makes seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on to invoices, the pay request presented for payment. You've got all those in your packet. Pardon me? That's what we just did. Just approved the minutes. We didn't adopt the agenda, I'm sorry. Back up one step and adopt the agenda.
I'll make a motion, we
All
adopt
right,
the
Mark
agenda.
makes a motion, we adopt the agenda. Meg seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Now that the agenda's been adopted, I need a motion to approve the minutes from the last council meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Mark makes a motion,
I'll second.
Meg seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, moving on to the invoice pay request presented for payment. Your last page there would have all the ones that need council approval. The other ones are prepaid and bank drafts. Any concerns or questions about?
I have a simple one. I'm looking here on the invoices for 414, and I didn't know we had a cafeteria plan. What is a cafeteria plan?
It's the task plan. It's a prepaid medical card
that is employee deducted. They choose it at their amount at the beginning of the year. And like, it pays for prescriptions, doctor visits, things like that, and then we withhold it every 2 weeks out of their paycheck. And they can use the card, it's prepaid loaded, and they can use the card to pay for medical
Because
expenses.
I was curious, because I know we don't have a cafeteria, but we got a cafeteria fund.
That's what it's called,
Okay.
it's a cafeteria plan, so.
Thank you.
And so I saw something I'd got a question about also, is the monitor at the cook station alarm.
The cook station alarm, that's, the cook station.
I was thinking the town.
Yeah,
We got it.
and I'm thinking the fire department's got a,
Yes.
out south of town. All right, the cook shack.
All right, thank you.
All right, any other questions? I have a motion to pay.
I'll make the motion, Mr. Mayor, that we pay the bills without objection.
Bill makes a motion.
I'll second. Dave, a second.
Dave seconds, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
All right, moving on to citizens' comment. We have Ron Napper would like to address us about soccer.
We have a bad problem with our soccer program. Had a rough year so far with what's going on at our soccer program. They kicked off my fields. I can't get a hold of the person that's over it. There's a lot going on. The first game, the field was wrong. I just took it, we just did, took it, made it bigger for us, it was too small. Second game, same, well, we got right down the game. Next game, same thing. Field was too small. Third game, field was right, no paint, it was right. Ref was 20 minutes late. And I just took it, I just started refereeing, and we got there, we did it. I just went ahead and with it. We just got a lot of parents just very upset with it right now, and I have no place to practice. When I talked to her, Christine, about it, I reserved the fields, they had to take them over, nobody called me, I had 13 kids, parents show up on a Tuesday night, no idea what I was gonna do. Took the little field out and played enough for, getting really practice, just get the ball. But there's no place to practice for big kids. The program is really hurt. I've refed and coached for Kiwanis for 25 years. I just get into soccer for a little bit. I do upward enrollment. And this has been the worst I've seen. It's very bad. I mean, there's always hiccups through the year, but it just, every week is something going on. And we had to, I mean, if you have a big kid, I coached a 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th grade. I can't get a little goal out there in the field. That's like putting a nerve cup, teaching, 5th graders how to play basketball, you just can't do it. And I'm not a soccer coach, I admit that. I'm just in there shooting, but I can teach them the game after I learn off YouTube and whatever. But just, they gotta have, you guys have to have a field for the big kids to play on, with a big goal where they can understand the game. And we have, last year was, or last fall, I didn't coach, I just let someone else coach, because I thought, they would be the coach all the time, I just let them do it. And the year before that, they had poles put up, and we couldn't play in there, and it's getting where we have no field.
Yep.
And somebody has to address it somehow.
All right, well, we appreciate you bringing that to our attention. We'll talk with Christie and see if we can come up with something. It's a bad thing to have so many activities going on that it's tough to get a field to practice on and things. I understand.
Well, I mean, I don't like Wednesdays, it's church, my daughter goes to church, I can't do Wednesdays.
No.
But we do Wednesdays now, do not that. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Maybe I'm going to show Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
All right,
especially spring.
all right, thank you. Unfinished business, that was the only citizen's comment. Unfinished business, there is none. New business, awards presentation. Chief, you've got some awards to present to some of our officers.
How's everybody doing? So every year we do performance evaluations of some of our officers, not all of our officers, but I wanted to take a moment to recognize some of our officers who really went above and beyond in an outstanding job of our department. So the first award is for DWI Enforcement Excellence Award. We're pleased to recognize Officer Elijah Show for exceptional performance in DWI enforcement and detection. He demonstrates proactive policing and sound judgment in identifying impaired drivers, resulting in 9 DWI arrests for 2025. Officer shows vigilant attention to detail, has prevented potentially fatal accidents caused by drunk driving. His commitment to public safety serves as an inspiration to all of our members of our department, and we take pride in having such an exceptional officer. He's the first recipient of this award today, so Mr. Schultz. Second recipient of this award is Timothy Gokenhour. You want to get in here, Mary?
Yes. Thank you.
The next award is Narcotics Enforcement Excellence Award. We are pleased to recognize Officer Timothy Gokenhour for his exceptional performance in narcotics enforcement. Diligent patrol initiative, Officer Gokenhour successfully made 13 arrests for possession of controlled substance and 7 arrests for drug trafficking, significantly contributing to the disruption of illegal drug activity, enhancing the community and safety. And I can't say this enough, a lot of our cases are even going federal at this point with some of the stuff that he's been doing. So he's been doing an outstanding job. So I really congratulate and appreciate it for his hard work.
Oh, that's a good one, Timothy.
Next award is Frontline Enforcement Excellence Award, and this goes to Sergeant Derek Browns. We are pleased to recognize Sergeant Derek Browns for his exceptional leadership and proactive enforcement. Sergeant Browns leads from with consistent self-initiated activity, above average traffic stops and arrests. He actively seeks out criminal activity enforcement opportunities while on patrol and demonstrates strong work ethic, self-motivation, and commitment to public safety while positively influencing and motivating our fellow officers. Like I say, he does an outstanding job. He's also our Officer of the Year in the past, so continues to keep doing a great job. I appreciate you. All right, last two, and then we're done. So this award goes to 2 outstanding officers within our department, part of our command staff, and this distinguished leadership in public safety. In recognition of outstanding leadership, unwavering dedication, and exemplary service to the St. James Police Department and commitment and the community, their commitment to professionalism, integrity, and mentorship sets a standard of excellence that inspires those who lead. Captain Dick, can you step up here, please? Captain Dick consistently demonstrates strong leadership, professionalism, and dedication both to the department and the community we serve. His commitment, hard work, and ethic make him truly deserving of this recognition. And Chris and I kind of came up together with the department, so we've kind of been through some hard knock stuff together and kind of learned from each other. But
Here, all 3 of you together there. You're good.
Yeah, get all of them. Okay. There.
the second recipient of this award is Lieutenant Gaddy. Lieutenant Gaddy has shown outstanding service, dependability, and leadership through his dedication to the department and those around him. He continues his commitment, does not go unnoticed, and his recognition is very well deserved. So Gaddy went from sergeant to lieutenant, and I can say day in and day out, he comes in here, he's here to do work, he genuinely cares about the community and the department itself and the many needs in this department. So I appreciate it for all his service. And you have these left out at one point. Desirable things to it. Thank you guys very much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone, for what you all do for our community. It's greatly appreciated. Moving on to, next on the agenda, Toth and Associates, going to presentation on the electrical distribution system study that they've just completed, so. And
where I might grab this and take notes right here for this guy.
So, hang on, Jeff, need to load it up. It looks like we just ran out of batteries.
Now you're live.
Hello.
Brent?
Last June, Toth kicked off with the electric system study, and this is Jeff Mueller with Toth. He's kind of the one that took head of running it, so thank you.
Thank you for having me. See if the TV's turn on.
Yeah, we're trying, Jeff, sorry.
That's fine.
Have them up. Christie, I got one iPad. Yeah. I think we have a clicker, Jeff. Yeah.
Okay.
And you have to point it sometimes over this way. There you go, sir.
Very much. All right. I just want to say thank you for you guys having me. And also thank you for Toth & Associates being able to do the 10-year electric system study for you, the City of St. James. I'm a professional engineer, and I've been at Toth & Associates for about 12 years now. I actually have some local connections. My parents were school teachers at Owensville High School, our Owensville school system, for 30-plus years, and so I have some connections to the area as well. So, all right. So, electric system study. So, what we want to do for electric system study is you really want to try to figure out see how your system is now, and then also project growth in the future, especially as cities nowadays are experiencing some cities are experiencing some decent growth. Because, for a while, a lot of cities were pretty flat, but with technology these days and things trying to get closer, there's a lot of growth in certain cities these days. So the system study forecasts those loads in certain areas and tries to make sure that your system is ready for that growth when it happens. You can't build electric infrastructure overnight. You got to plan it out. You got to figure out what the best way to do it is and make sure you build it before the load actually shows up. So we look at different parts of the electric system. For the City of St. James, that was mainly focused on the distribution system, the substation, and the sub-transmission. And I'll show some examples of that in a little bit. Really, we're looking at the capacity. How much can you get use of the existing system? So each wire has a limit of the capacity. Small wire, about maybe less than the size of a dime, can maybe have like 200-300 amps on it. Just depends on the size of wire. Where a wire that's sort of the size of a quarter, you might be able to get 500 amps out of it. It really depends on what size wire it is and all the characteristics, but that's what you want to do. If you need more capacity, you really got to put bigger wire up. And the main thing is we want to do is make sure we provide good voltages for the city. As you grow, you get more ampacity on the lines, and you get more ampacity on the lines, the voltage will get lower. And ways you improve that is build bigger wires or add sources. And that's what we look at when we do the study. And you're trying to figure out what is the best way to have the system to be like in 10 years. You don't want to build something tomorrow and in 5-10 years wish that you would have put a bigger size or done this instead, because what you build, you want to make sure you try to get 30 to 40 years of life out of, just so that way it can depreciate and you're not doing something twice. So, sorry, wrong way. So, and you're also looking at how to improve reliability. Reliability is becoming more and more key, especially as, people get away from, your old clocks and everything's more digital. A small blink of the line, people will complain, well, my lights blinked. I got to reset my oven or clock in my oven, these all radios just because of a small blink on their system. And, during storms, you want to make sure you have the sources or availability to backfeed. I know a couple of winters ago where you had the substation out issue. So they had a substation issue a couple of years ago. So as part of our study, we looked at taking each substation transformer out of service and what kind of upgrades would be needed to serve the city for that. So I talked about this a little bit already, the different parts of the electric system, the generation side, transmission, substation, distribution. Generation side, MPUA, being part of that pool takes care of that. But, there's multiple types of generation between dam, hydro generation, wind, natural gas, coal. But that's not what we analyze. That's more of MPUA and the transmission operators trying to figure out where to put the generation. But we have to. It's part of this electric system, but it's just not what we study for you guys. It's just more information purposes. And this map here is a map of MPUAs where they have their generation across Missouri and also the surrounding states as well. Then you have your transmission. The line on the left is more of the interstate of getting the transmission from the power plants to major switching stations, whereas a transmission on the right is more a local transmission that's more feeding towns and stuff. So you need both of those to work. The one on the left, I believe that one looks like it's 345 kV volts. That's 10 times as much as this transmission line that serves the sub-transmission line that serves the city. So it's all about trying to conserve voltage, but that's why you do different voltages, because you want to send that generation to across the state and to the load areas. The substation is sort of where where you take the transmission voltage and give it to the distribution. So currently there's 3 substations around the city. One may be a little bit newer, a couple may be a little older, or 2 of them a little bit newer, one may be older, the old one downtown. So you have places where that takes the transmission voltages and brings it down to the distribution voltages. And then the distribution voltage, that's where the distribution voltage is what serves your houses. It takes it from either 1247 or 4160 and provides 120, 240 for all your outlets in the house. And that's most common pole lines are out there, or the distribution around the city, but because the transmission is feeding all the substations. So our emphasis was like the sub-transmission, the substation, distribution, in our analysis. So looking for a forecast, like I said earlier, right now the city is a little bit less than 11 megawatts. With some projected loads that we have got from Grant and Lyle, we're expecting almost an increase of about 10 megawatts for the city in 10 years. It's not quite double, but there's lots of, there's some load that just is process coming online right now. There's other loads that, subdivisions that may happen, and other things. So making sure that your system can go from 10 megawatts and basically doubling the amount of load it has to serve requires quite an investment. And we want to make sure that we build it before we really need it. Else, you're going to have lots of voltage concerns or reliability concerns, because if it's a hot summer day, you don't do those upgrades, people may not have power because the upgrades aren't there. So when I talk about voltages, you have some limits. As you get more load on it, the voltage drops. So typically, most substations are around like 124, 126 range. And what we try to do is you have like roughly 6 volts a drop, or 8 volts a drop, sorry. And once you get to that, you sort of want to try to figure out what are improvements you might need. With cities, usually you're not as limited. Voltage isn't as a big concern at 1247. At 4160, voltage is a little more concerning, just because your load is so condensed. So one way to help with some of the growth is to convert some of the system to 12/4/7, and that's part of our plan in the service as well. And basically, we want to make sure that people, your members or people in the city have good voltage on the hot days. So making sure they have at least 114 all the time is key. There may be some days that you may have a substation may be out, you may be providing them a little bit lower power, but ideally you want to plan for that, and unless you're under some type of weird contingency, you're providing them adequate power. And sectionalizing, this is where you're trying to increase reliability. Instead of just having devices at the substation, you can add devices down the line. For cities, though, your substations aren't exposed out many miles of line. A rural feeder that's serving, that goes 10 miles from the substation, you're going to have a lot of devices like this just to try to protect that, break up that exposure. But that's one nice thing about cities is it's so condensed. You can improve reliability pretty easily because you just don't have that much of line miles exposure. All right, so talked a lot about there. So basically, we looked at the system in 4 years, or 3 years. We looked at what is needed for 2028, so in the short term, and really the sub-transmission was a focus. And based on the improvements we identified, we identified $3.2 million worth of improvements. In 2032, our focus of improvements that we identified was really a new substation on the southwest side of town. That's an area where there isn't a substation. There's some growth down there. And the best way to improve that area from a voltage standpoint is really with a new substation and additional improvements. So that's where we're estimating a little bit less than $6 million. And then in 2036, we're at roughly $2.2 million, and we're doing some more the sub-transmission upgrades. So we're improving that 34.5 kV that's fed from Ameren on the west, about 5 miles west of town, that the station that you acquired, I don't know exactly when you acquired it, but the Phelps substation that used to sort of feed St. James and Rolla, but then St. James acquired it. We're upgrading that line and then the substation. So this might be a little hard to see, but I don't know, is there a pointer on here? It doesn't want to show the TV. Okay. So that Phelps substation is this little yellow square right there. And then you have that 34.5 that's feeding all the way to the west, from the west towards town. You can maybe barely see the Walmart distribution center parking lot in the upper right-hand corner. So that whole sub-transmission system, the one line is currently it's what one line is, and the other line is 336. So there's 2 lines, and really that one-out line is not sufficient to serve 20 megawatt loads. It's really only good for 14 megawatts. So if your system grow, and you lose that 336 line, that one-out line would require basically probably shutting power off to some people, because else you'd have a chance to burn it down, and then if you burn it down, you wouldn't be able to serve anybody load. So one of the major improvements is to rebuild that one-out line, the 34.5 to 336 like the other line is. So that way either source or either line feed the city. And then 2032, you still see the yellow squares, those are substations, but there you see the Walmart distribution center on the west side on the map there. If you go down south roughly, south interstate, we want to put a substation sort of in the southwest corner of the town. A lot of that's the 4160, has better backfeed to the downtown sub, and also provide additional capacity for growth in the area. You have one on the north side, you have one on the south side. If you want, if you turn the sound a little bit, and the east side, the west side of town is really lacking a good, strong source. And that's what we identified as a major upgrade. And then for 2036, I was talking about the 34.5 network. The purple is what, let me make sure. Sorry. Yeah, the purple is what, the pink or purple is what we're doing in 2028. Then we're trying to do the green in 2036. So basically, we want that full loop of the 34.5 network, so that way there's no weak link in the sub-transmission system that's feeding the city. So that way, if one source from the Phelps substation's out, the whole city can be served off the rest of the other source, the alternative source. So those are our big projects we identified. There's other projects identified in there as well. Converting stuff to from 4160 to 1247. Additional smaller projects. But I just want to focus on the main big projects, just as what we identified. Overall, your system's in really good shape, but going from 10 megawatts to 20 megawatts is going to require some investment and upgrades to the city. And if that load grows slower, then you can do those improvements over maybe a longer period of time. So you don't have to do all those projects day one, but you have to start to plan as you grow. Okay, we're growing, but maybe not as fast, so maybe we can spread this project out another year, and then, okay, but we still need to do some of these. So that's what you sort of want to think about. Any questions from anybody?
I have one. I noticed on your first pictures that you showed solar cells and windmills. Is that something that we need to look into? Would that help our situation any?
So distributed generation can help with some local issues, but usually that's going to be more, it could be more transmission related, not necessarily the distribution. So like if you are having trouble getting capacity from Ameren, let's say, maybe you have a limit of Ameren, and in order so you don't go over that limit, maybe you work with MPUA on, or you guys do it yourself, of having some local generation, so that way you don't go over your transmission limit. We didn't look at a cost benefit of this generation or that generation. That wasn't part of our study. That's more when you get into rates and a cost of service analysis, and then also looking at what generation's available. We are more looking at what improvements are needed based on forecasted loads and what's the best way to serve that. Does that make sense? Did I answer your question?
But I guess my concerns are is moving toward the future, do we need to maybe incorporate one or either or something like that to help?
Yeah, you could do a small, 2 or 3 megawatt solar project or some type of project like that. Battery storage is becoming more common. A lot of utilities are looking at battery storage, so that way they can charge that battery on off-peak times and use that whenever the transmission system's peaking. So that way it's not, you don't get penalized from MISO or someone from a transmission peak. So yeah, here one of those is something to think about. But I assume MPUA you probably would want to talk to them about what kind of contract you guys have with them from a power requirement standpoint. So
your studies don't have anything that involve including either one of those two options?
We're just looking more at what the loads you guys are thinking are going to come in online and how to serve that without adding local generation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
So who would we need to talk to see if that is a feasible option?
So Counselor, we're already doing a rate study with Toth and Associates right now, which probably later on could probably be part of the discussion in our rates for the future.
Yeah, it's more of a resource plan, and you have electric system study is what we did, and then you have like a cost of service study to figure out, are you charging people enough for what the current rates are, But then you almost have a combination of resource planning where, okay, this is how you're getting your power now. How should we get our power in the future? Where some of you cities, they look at MPUA or their GNT or their power provider to do those. It's really a working group with all three to really make sure you do what you want to do. So
on the first, Jeff, on the first 3 years,
yeah.
that price that you quoted, is there a growth factor in there for, for the way, that the way of cost of supplies and labor are right now?
We usually try to estimate everything in today's dollars just because.
So it's present value right
Because,
now?
yeah, just because we don't know we can forecast 10% increase. That's pretty easy, but it's more you want to know how much does this plan cost me today? And then as you get closer to actually figuring out what you want to do, you come up more like engineer's estimate to figure out what you really want to do.
So that particular, like you say that is something for like 2028, but if that's something that needs to be done by 2028, which is really something that we need to
Yeah.
probably start right now.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, and like I said, until, you really need to make some site visits, get maybe a 10% design, and then when you do that, you can really narrow down and figure out, okay, are we using wood poles? Are we using steel? Are we using something else? Double check.
To get some true cost.
Yeah, and with transmission, just doing a one pole with foundation could add $75,000 to the project.
Right.
And, or even 100K. So once you start designing and figure out what some of the limitations are, you really don't know. But usually after a 10 or 30% design, you can narrow down that cost to what we really think it's going to be.
So it's okay to do a 10 to 30% design to begin with?
Yeah, for projects that you want to do in a couple of years, I'd start working on those designs. So that way you can figure out, okay, how much do we want to do? Do we need to spread over more years? What's the actual cost we think is going to be? Because really, you need that design to really figure out the true cost.
Phasing is real important.
Yep.
Okay.
Leanne, I think we're probably looking at bonds.
I'm thinking that's where my brain is
Yeah.
going, but, there's only so much bond capacity that the city
Yeah.
has too.
Yeah, and,
And the electric already has a bond right now.
yeah, and I think grant money is just not available right now, so that doesn't help things.
Right. So, that's where I'm going right now. Okay.
Any other questions?
All right. Well, thank you for taking the time to come down and make the presentation.
Thank you for that.
A lot of things to take into consideration over the as we continue to grow in St. James. So,
Hey, growth is good.
yep, thank you very much. All right, moving on to appoint a mayor pro tem. Tyler'd been the mayor pro tem for several years. I did have Bill, it's shown some interest in possibly being a mayor pro tem, but that would be all up to you guys for your decision as who you'd like to see be the mayor pro tem. So I will leave it up to you for discussion or nominations. So,
I'll nominate Bill for Mayor Pro Tem.
Well, thank you very much, Councilwoman Wade.
I'll second it.
Dave seconds. Do I need to do a roll call or just all in favor?
If there's any other nominations, you might ask if there's any other nominations.
Are there any other nominations?
Just voice vote.
Do a voice vote then. Tyler?
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Bill? Can I abstain? Ryan?
Aye.
Meg? Marcy?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
All right, Bill.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
This is something we have to do every year to reappoint whatever law firm we're using. Obviously, right now it's Lauber, so I'd like to reappoint them to be our representative for another year.
I would like you to do that too.
And Nathan has expressed interest in continuing. So Is there any other discussion on that?
Motion.
Tyler makes a motion.
Second.
Mark seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, same thing. This is done every year. Moving on to reappoint Linda Cochran as our city clerk.
I'll make a motion.
Mark makes a motion.
Second.
Makes seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, moving on. Here several months ago, a year ago possibly, there was some discussion about we want to make sure we're encompassing as many organizations, businesses as we can to help promote St. James in a positive way that focuses on the whole community and not just a few, choices. So we reached out to some individuals, asked them to possibly consider it, turn in, their application or whatever that Tyler had recommended that we do, which is a great idea. Thank you. So we came up with this tourism committee that would meet quarterly or whatever to discuss how we want to spend or how we should spend the tourism dollars to get the biggest bang for the buck. So I'll just run down the list that have shown interest, and we think they'd be a good fix together. Shay Abel, he's the general manager of the golf course. For years and years, St. James has been, nominated as one of the best 9-hole courses in Missouri. So that's an attraction or a draw to St. James. Excuse me. Brenna Weinbaum, she owns the Airbnb, several of them. So we want to make sure we're including Airbnbs whenever we look at our lodgers tax and stuff like that. Make sure we can do what we can to help promote them. West Sweet, obviously everyone knows West, Merrimack Springs. They draw people from all over the state and out of state to come to St. James. So we figured that would be a good mix. Tina Bullock, we've been lacking some downtown presence in, decision-making and recommendations. So Tina, she's the owner of one of the oldest businesses in St. James, Johnny's Bar. So, and we feel that she would be a good fit, could bring some good things to the table. And then Charity Satterfield. Satterfield family's been around forever. She's the owner of the Blooms and Barrels now, which used to be Stanley's Garden Center. She was FFA teacher for years, so she brings a lot of good things to the table. She goes and represents some of the councils around to do with soil management and things like that. So we just feel that this group here together, along with the chamber director and stuff like that, could bring a lot of presence and new ideas to St. James. Think outside the box or whatever. So with your all's blessing, I would like to be able to form this committee with this group here. Anyone have any questions?
I'll make a motion.
Meg makes a motion.
I'll second.
Marcy seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Chief, you're still here for this. Resolution 26-435. Linda?
A resolution to approve the City of St. James to be an associate member of the Rolla Area Drug Enforcement RAID Task Force.
Chief, I believe you brought something up last month about that, so kind of refresh everyone's memory on what this is.
So the RAID Task Force works in our area here and some other counties outside our area here, and they're comprised of various law enforcement officers from Rolla Police Department, Phelps County Sheriff's Department, and some other agencies. We have narcotic issues in town. We're able to reach out to them. They have a little bit more resources than we do, equipment, things like that we don't have. So us becoming associate members would allow us the money that goes to them. This is not a contract that's locked in for years and years. It's just year to year. It's $4,000 a year. That money would go to facilitate training for them. Some of these investigations are short-term, but some are long-term investigations, which cost quite a bit of money as well. So for them coming in here to our area as well, and they already do that right now, but just to become associate members, we can say the St. James Police Department has, a narcotics task force assigned to us. And in the future, as St. James keeps growing, we have more officers, we can assign an officer to that drug task force full-time as well. So, and then we become full members then. But right now, I think this is a great opportunity for us to show that we're making an impact on drugs here in our community like our officers have been doing. This is just another resource to help us out and do that.
All right. Anyone have any questions for Chief or Leanne?
So you said that we would not have any officers assigned at this time, it would only just be an associate member?
Correct. If we had an officer assigned, we'd have to pay for the full officers. We'd have to remove one of our officers or hire an additional officer and pay their full cost to go work on their task force like the other agencies do right now. So I'm hoping in the future, as we grow, city grows, our department grows, we can have an officer assigned primarily to that task force, and that's what they'll do. So right now, they still have members come down here, still doing things, executing search warrants, working undercover narcotics and things like that here in our community. So.
Okay, refresh my memory. Once we sign this agreement and we have to call in a task force or something, do we still have to pay them on top of that, or this $4,000 covers?
No, this $4,000 covers that. We call them right now. We exchange information amongst each other, and all of us work together collectively. There's no additional fee to this. It's just a flat $4,000.
You don't have to pay an officer, one of their officers, to come down and do whatever, it's already covered.
No, sir, nothing like that. And I spoke with them, any foreseeable changes in money going up in the future, there's nothing like that. Nothing's going to change overnight. And again, we're not locked into a long contract. It's year to year.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions for the chief? Or Leanne? Not, could I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Tyler makes a motion.
I'll second.
Marcy seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 26-436, approved contract for investment and banking services with Town and Country Bank. Leanne, or Linda?
A resolution approving a 3-year contract for investment and banking services to Town and Country Bank of Salem, Missouri, with up to 3 additional 3-year renewals.
Leanne?
So we put out an RFP for investment and banking services back in February. We actually opened up the proposals on March the 6th and reviewed. We received 3 proposals from the local banks. We did put this out on our website, and we did advertise it on the internet on what is called BidNet. We didn't get any others, of course, but we did put it out there for others to review. So after reviewing and looking at what we had required from these banks, we only had one bank that met the requirements, and that was Town and Country Bank. And so we're asking for this council to approve this banking agreement with them. I will tell you, this is also one of the items that came up when we were talking with the auditor, because right now we have a lot of bank accounts, and during our process of doing our audits, because as you know, we're behind in our audits, and our auditor will be here on May the 26th to present one of the audits and then start working on the next level of the audits. And one of his concerns was that we have so many bank accounts that we got behind in doing our reconciliations. So going to one bank instead of having multiple banks and multiple bank accounts, there's really no reason for that. So we're going to have one bank, and we're probably just going to have 2 bank accounts. And that's really all you need, especially for a small town. And I think I've told you, I came from a city where I had a $600 million budget, and I only had 3 bank accounts. And so there's really no need to have 24 bank accounts. So you just really don't need that. So this is going to really help with our auditor, and he's excited that we're going in this direction. But we needed to do a RFP so we could have a bank agreement. And I think our new bank is looking forward to this as well, so.
Okay, I have one question.
Yes, sir.
And I didn't notice it till after I was sitting home reading. It says Town and Country Bank of Salem. Is there a difference between the Town and Country Bank of Salem and the Town and Country Bank of St.
When I
James?
did the contract with them, I asked them, I have to put on there, where they're affiliated from, and that was, I asked them Town and Country of which city and state, and they told me to put of Salem, Missouri. So that must be where their corporate offices are.
You look at Mike Mary's County Bank, if you see there, it says Vienna, Missouri, so that's their home. That's where they first established their banking business. So
I mean, we're going to be dealing with the local office here in St. James, but I guess Salem is where their corporate office is, and that's where they told me to put it.
I was just concerned if there's no difference that why couldn't we just do St. James Bank and keep
You
it
have to put where I guess their incorporation is.
Okay,
It's probably in their name.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right, any other discussion? Could I get a motion?
Make a motion.
Steve makes a motion.
I'll second.
Mark seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 2647, approve agreement to enter into a mutual aid agreement with the city of Cuba, Missouri. Linda?
A resolution to approve a mutual aid agreement between the city of St. James, Missouri and the city of Cuba, Missouri.
Lyle had to leave with some personal matters, but Cuba reached out to us here a couple months ago. They had some employees quit and leave, and they were in a bind for some help on with their, I believe it was their gas.
Is there natural gas?
Their
They
natural
have a
gas.
leak.
So they called us and asked us if we could help support them. We've got a mutual agreement with, it's either Waynesville or St. Roberts
We
and
have one with
Rolla.
Waynesville.
So it just, if we had the availability resources to send to support them, then we send them down to help them. They foot the bill for that. Vice versa, if, they ask for our help somewhere, or we go help, or they come help us. So just a mutual agreement that will help out each other when possible.
And I will tell you, Mayor and Council, I do need to make a correction on here. I didn't catch it, and Linda didn't catch it. Nathan looked at this as well. On number 3, where it says the parties mutually agree, which is on the second page, it says the termination of the agreement. For some reason, I have it ending in 3 months. I don't know why. But I would like to change that to 2027. And then, of course, either party can cancel it at any time. I apologize for that. I either had fat fingers that day, or I was just going so fast. I don't know. I'm either thinking it was 2025, but if somebody could make a motion to change that to 2027.
I'll make a motion.
And I want to thank Councilor Dunkus for catching that for me, because many of us saw it and many of us just blinked and missed it. So I apologize
This was
for
the
that.
part I was reading when I was still conscious.
Yeah, we're in this really thick packet, yes.
Yeah.
I apologize for that too. But I do need to make that change before you. And I will tell you, the mayor of Cuba he's new to Cuba, and he reached out to us, and he was very grateful for the city helping out with our natural gas. And we have a really great natural gas team. We really do. So I'm very proud of them. So.
I just want to throw in, when I hear mutual aid, I usually think public safety, but this is not a public safety mutual aid, it's just public works.
Right.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
Okay, with the corrections to the date, Mark makes a motion to approve.
I'll second. Okay, so Mark made the motion to approve the change. Who's going
Approve
to
the
do a second
changes,
on that?
yes. Yes.
Who need the second on the change?
Second.
Marcy did it,
Marcy,
all right.
okay, on the change,
And then a motion to approve with the change.
make a motion.
Mark makes a motion for that.
And
Second,
I'll make a motion to approve the
Mark made-
mutual aid
Yep.
agreement.
do I have a second on the mutual aid? Steve, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Resolution 26438, approve a use agreement between the city of St. James and St. James Farmers Market. Leanne,
Yeah, I was hoping that Larkin Busby would be here tonight. I sort of encouraged her to come. I think she was going to try to make it. So they are, so St. James Farmers Market is now a nonprofit. They are a 501c3. And they have, so they have the farmers market that's out at the tourist center. And so they have requested, we have put together this use agreement because they are going to be erecting a metal structured, it's a covered pavilion. And if I say anything incorrectly, Mayor, hop in anytime, please, because he's been very active in this with me. But once the pavilion is not completely paid off, and I put that in the use agreement, once it's paid off, they're going to actually gift the pavilion over to the city. Now, as you know, the land, the city owns the land and the building that's over there at the tourist center, but it's very constrained. It can only be used for tourism. Okay, that was given to us by the state many, many years ago. but it came with conditions. I actually found that agreement, Meg, so I read it, and it did. It said we can only use it for tourism. So I was very structured in telling, the farmer's market that anything that's done under this pavilion has to be used for tourism and tourism only. So that is actually in that agreement. So they want to be able to have the farmer's market year-round. Now, with this pavilion, and it's covered, so they will be having their farmer's market on Saturday and Sunday from 8 to 2, year-round. The sole use, of course, is for the farmer's market and for related community events to tourism for the city. The farmer's market, the organization agrees to maintain the premises to be clean, safe, and orderly condition. Of course, they will remove any trash, and they will leave the property when everything is over in equal or better condition. They will have to have insurance, by the way, and they have asked for no utilities, so there won't be any utilities there. And then there was, and if they want to sublet the pavilion at any time, they have to receive permission from the city, and pretty much that would be either me or the mayor. We would mutually agree, and we would double make sure that it's tourism related and then it would have to be something that could be sublet for that. Did I leave anything out, sir?
The fact that this is being built and with all volunteer money.
Yes.
It's not costing the city
Right.
anything for this structure to be put up. They've got donations and that for the concrete work, the pavilion to be constructed. They bought the pavilion and all that. And if you look around some of these other farmers markets, they've got a permanent structure. And this is here where the agreement says that there'll be minimal maintenance. So whenever our Parks Department goes out and mows the grass, we get around it quick. We don't have to pull weeds and stuff like that.
It's going to be cement, and then the pavilion will be into the cement. It's a metal frame. Christie and the mayor and I have seen pictures of it. I think they're going to try to do a little bit of landscaping around.
Yeah, a little bit.
Around
nothing.
the pavilion, but very non-evasive. I mean, just, things that we don't have to take care of, So, but to make it look pretty, so.
Yeah. And the farmer's market is growing, because I remember a couple of years ago, you'd see a few tents out there. Now, Saturday, it's starting to pick up momentum. Sundays it's always packed on Sundays with people out there. And if they could continue to use it year-round, it's just a positive for St. James. Put it to use other than just a place to stop and go to the bathroom on your way to Springfield. So try to add different things out there. So a great opportunity to improve the city and no cost to taxpayers or anything.
Right.
Now, I think I was told also that even after they gift it to the city, they're still going to do maintenance on it?
Yes, sir.
Or anything?
Yes, they will.
Yeah. I just wanted to add that in there.
Okay, thank you.
Where on the property is this going to be located? Is it going to take away from the parking that's?
No, they're not taking away anything from the parking, and Christie and Mayor help me. So if you're right behind or you're right in front of the tourist center, it's going to be look to your left, where they do the parking, where people that are like driving to Fort Leonard Wood, I guess, or something, they park along over in there. It's going to be a little bit behind that and to the left.
Yeah,
I'm not good with north,
if you circle around the building and come around, if you're going east, it'll be basically on that southwest or southeast curve when you go around. If you drive out there now, you see the building structure that's on the ground there. Move it a few feet to the east, and that's where it'll be, right there at the curve. It will be right up at the parking lot itself, so
So it'd be between the building and the highway?
Correct, yeah, they wanted to be able to, if you're driving on the highway from a distance, they wanted to be able, so you would see it and say, oh, there's a farmer's market there, let's get off the highway and, go to the farmer's market. But not in the right-of-way, we made sure, so. Right.
Good opportunity here, so with your approval, we'd like them to go ahead and move forward with this, get the ball rolling here.
The only thing in the contract that we did not put in, and I need your guidance with this, is we did not put a year in here. I did not fill that in, and neither did they. We were looking at 3 years or 5 years, and so I was looking for guidance from the council on how many years would you like to see this use agreement? I know I want more than just 1 year, because bringing it to you every single year, no offense, that would just be awful. But, 3 or 5 years, that would be, I think, appropriate. But
Well, the building would still be the city's, even if
Correct.
the agreement between the farmer's market, maybe it dissolves or what have you.
It's just
The structure
bringing
is still
right,
there.
it's just bringing it to this council. I can bring it to you every year, or I can bring it to you every 3 years.
Can it be indefinite? Like, is that a bad idea?
Cannot.
Oh, yeah, ugh,
I
yeah.
I don't know.
You can make it renew automatically. I would do 5 years. You also, you can terminate it on 30 days' notice.
Correct. You can terminate it in 30 days. Right.
We should just
That's
make it-
always in everything I'm going to write.
Yeah, just make it to 5 year.
5 years?
5 years.
Okay.
I agree with our attorney. Let's just make it 5 years.
Okay, so I'll put 5 years. Okay, we'll add that.
Good job.
Okay.
I feel like I contributed.
I just noted, I apologize, Mayor, I just noticed it as I was reading it that it was blank, so. And I think one of it was when I was talking to the farmer's market group, it was going back and forth and,
Do they have a deadline on when it has to be paid for?
when they have a lot of donations that have come in, but I'm not quite sure how much information I can really give out. Yeah, you'd have to really talk to them.
But it says they won't gift it to us until it's paid for.
Correct.
So I didn't know if it's going to take 10 years to be gifted to us.
I don't know.
5 years. Or-
I really don't know, and that's why I was hoping that Larkin would be here tonight to sort of
I don't see it
explain
even getting built until they have all the funding in place to do it. I don't think they're gonna put it up with.
No, Mayor, I think after tonight, I think you're going to start
think they're
seeing.
gonna go
I think
with
you're
it?
going to see a cement truck out there.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's even better.
I do too. Yeah.
I mean, it can't be that expensive, so they should.
No, I would see that probably it would be gifted over to us in at least a year, maybe two, at the furthest,
I have
maybe.
no problem with that.
Yeah. So,
All right, any other discussion?
okay.
Gotta get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Ryan makes a motion.
I'll second.
Mark seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 26-439, approved general master service agreement with CM Archer Group. Linda?
A resolution approving general master service agreements with the City of St. James and CM Archer Group, P.C., doing business as Archer Elgin of Rolla, Missouri, and Toth and Associates Incorporated of Springfield, Missouri, to provide professional services on an as-needed basis for various street, stormwater, water, wastewater, natural gas, and other general system projects and maintenance activities. Request for proposal number 2026-GS-001.
Leanne?
So a lot of this, I hate to tell you, took place while I was out with my eye, but I did a request for proposals and then put it out on the street. And it's very similar to what we did for the electric master service agreement. We now have, with Nathan's help, we now have a template that we use for our contracts, okay? So what I wanted to do was I wanted to do a master service agreement. We did one for electric, and you approved contracts for Toth and Associates and also for Archer Elgin for electric contracts, and it's based by task, okay? Well, that's the same way this is. So we put out this RFP, and we did it for just general engineering. So we did it for for water, for water, wastewater, and for natural gas, which is part of the utilities. And I took that to the utility board last week, which they adopted, okay? But it also includes for transportation, which is for streets, stormwater, and really any general engineering. So we can call on for the proposals that were, that we received. We received 3, and from those 3, the selection advisory group that we have, we followed our procurement code. From the selection advisory, they are making a recommendation that you approve the proposals from Toth and Associates and also from Archer Elgin, CM Archer. And so what we would do is if we have a stormwater project, then we would actually take that task and we could actually give it to both of them. And we would say, can you task this out for us? Give us a timeline and tell us, how long it would take and give us what the cost is. And then we would measure, we could look at both of those and see which one we want to go to. Because it could be that one engineering firm could say, man, we're just like loaded and we can't get to this for 6 months. And then this one over here may say, we can get to this like in 2 weeks. And so, some of it could be that we have a project that we just really need to jump on and get it done because we've got a really bad stormwater project that we need to get going and we need to get something fixed right away. So that's why we do more than one, contract. We do multiple contracts. And so the selection advisory committee is asking for these two engineering firms. So I wish Lyle was here. He could tell you more. While I was out, the selection advisory met, and they're the ones that, reviewed the proposals. I did read all of the proposals. The one that they did not select, the only reason they did not select it was because they were not able to receive everything from that particular firm. So they just felt that it was a good proposal, but they just didn't feel that it met all of their needs, so.
Well, another positive too is CM Archer's familiar with our systems, as is Toth. So you're not bringing in an outside engineer that really does not know our system
But
well,
that's,
so.
but they didn't take that, that wasn't one of the qualifications.
But
that
it
you
helps.
take it, yeah.
And we do have a pretty big major project coming along.
We do,
On
we do.
Springfield for stormwater, so.
We do.
I'm sure we'll be utilizing their expertise here pretty quick.
Yes.
So is this going to have a financial budget limit on it, or is that
So,
going to be included
so
in it, or-
anytime, for instance, anything that's on the CIP that you approve in the budget, the capital improvement plan, anytime that you have, like, for instance, you approve for Danny to do a stormwater project, and you put a value, he said, this is probably going to cost $750,000. He's taking a guess because he hasn't done any engineering. So this whole year, probably mostly at nighttime or sometimes during the day, y'all might have seen a bunch of, especially those of you that live around the post office, you might have seen a bunch of drones and stuff flying around, taking pictures and everything. Well, they were doing part of the study that we're doing for the stormwater. And so they were mapping out, which we received the maps just recently. And so they were doing a bunch of the maps. And part of that is they're telling us, this is priority 1, here's priority 2, here's 3, 4, and they're phasing this out. And then the next thing they do is we do the engineering, and then they tell me, here's how much this one costs, Leanne, here's this one, this one's a big one, and here's how much this one costs, here's how much this one is, and, and we do the priorities. So every year, you're gonna start seeing stormwater phase 1, phase 2, phase 3.
Or this proposal or improvement, we're not approving any.
You're not approving any projects.
Gotcha.
You're just approving us to use them when we do have a project.
I think that's great.
Okay.
I think it's kind of like the 10% engineering that he was talking about before. That we would, this gives her authority to do enough to come back to you all with a realistic cost estimate.
Correct. Yeah, that's why I asked him. I can go ahead and just do it 30%? Yeah, yeah. And
That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that was.
And that's probably what I'm going to ask him to do is, can you do it 30% of the engineering? Yeah, because Toth is on a contract with us, so,
Awesome.
yeah.
All right, any other discussions, questions, concerns? All right, if not, could I get a motion?
Make a motion?
Steve makes a motion.
I'll second.
Who was that? Meg. Meg seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on to department reports, like mentioned, Lyle's not here. Grant, do you have anything you want to throw in about the electric side of it as far as Amazon's progress and kind of fill in for Lyle?
So April was a very busy month for us. We did our first voltage conversion, kind of like Jeff was talking about earlier. We converted from 4160 over to 12470, over for Dollar General, the VA clinic, and we did that to feed Amazon. We also got Fabic up and running, and then we've been changing transmission poles on line 80. So big 60-foot structures. That's mainly what the electric's been doing.
All right, everything's going smooth. Amazon's moving along, I know.
Amazon's up and running. Their buildings, I think they've got all their lights on. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, they do at night. I've noticed them. Just throw that out there.
Pretty bright driving by.
But anyhow, thank you, Grant. As far as the other public works, everything seems to be going along well, Leanne, from what you know of?
As far as I know, yeah, I know that, just to let you know, Danny's getting bids for asphalt. We have about 7 streets that he's planning on, that was in our capital improvement plan. And from what I saw from the bids, one of them came in rather lower than what he had budgeted. So I think he's going to have enough money to do all 7 streets that he had on the CIP. So hopefully he'll be securing that contract with that vendor real soon. Like I said, he got 3 bids. So hopefully we'll be, getting that up and going real fast. Because, as you know, the price of petroleum, and that's asphalt. Yeah. So it's like, get it now, tie in, get that price in. So that way it won't, jump any higher. But other than that, I think water and wastewater, I think, is going rather smooth.
All right. Okay, it's your turn, Leanne.
Yeah, the only thing I have is I know that the 26th is right after a holiday. I will be sending out a Zoom invite because I know some of you are on vacation, and I appreciate that you're at least willing to be on Zoom. I'll probably just send the whole Zoom invite to everyone, just, because. I do want you to know that one of the documents that we'll be addressing that night is going to be a first read, which is something that it's for the utilities, and it's a part of the municipal code, and it is a long read, and the utilities board did pass it and approve it, and with some changes, and I'm making those changes right now. So I was talking to Linda today. I think I'm going to send it to all of the counselors a little early. So, I mean, I'm not asking you to make any decisions or anything. It's just for information. I'm looking at our city attorney.
So
but
have
I
you
want
sent this to me yet?
Now, yes, I have.
Okay.
Yes, long time ago.
About, what is it about?
It's all about the changes for the utility services, the applications, the billing.
Okay.
Yes, yes. I've been working on this for months.
Okay.
Yes, and so it's a lot of information, but I want to send it to you because we want to do a first read, but then our June meeting is like 2 weeks later, and then we'll do a second read. So I want to give you the appropriate time to read it. And so I'm going to send it to you early because I am done with it. And so, so that way you can, you know, appropriately read it and spend some time. And that way, if you do have any questions or concerns, you can reach out to me. But this is for information only, you know, please do not, I don't want a sunshine law thing on me. That's not sunshine, what is it?
Well, it is sunshine law.
Yeah, it is sunshine law, yeah, I don't want.
I don't know how you're avoiding sunshine law. If you
Yeah.
send it out to them, it's sunshineable.
Well, I thought if it was just for information only, it's not, okay, never mind, you won't get it.
Great.
Okay,
What? Just send it out.
huh?
Just send it out.
Just send it out?
Well, what if somebody sunshines it? What's the damage?
Oh, okay, okay. But anyway, so I just, you know, I just wanted to get it out to you because it's like 20-something pages long. It's long. And that way it just gives you appropriate time to review it. And so, anyway.
Just stamp draft on it.
Okay, I will. I'll stamp draft. And actually what I could do is post it on the bulletin board and maybe even post it on our website so other people can see it as well. Maybe I'll do that. So we could probably do the agenda early and just get it out because I'm done with it. So maybe that's
Look
what
at
we'll
you
do.
being all transparent.
Yeah, I'm trying to be. Yeah. So anyway,
All right.
so I'll try to get that out as soon as possible. So
Anything else?
that is it.
No, good. No, I guess financially, everything, we're on course with the budget and everything.
Yeah, I will have budget adjustments at the next meeting as well. And we are starting our budget process. I'm working with all the departments. Can you believe it's already going to be FY '27? Anyway,
All right.
and I've been here 18 months. Isn't that unbelievable?
Time flies when you're having fun, right?
I guess so.
All right, I don't have a whole lot tonight. Just, again, we're asking you all to come in for a second meeting this month instead of pulling a 4.5, 5-hour meeting tonight. Hope we'll see that on YouTube, and eventually, I guess, Facebook's worked okay tonight?
We were on.
Oh, we're on YouTube now? Okay. I wasn't sure if we were gonna try to do both of them or not, so we would have so much trouble with,
You need to change the agenda.
with Facebook.
I did post it on Facebook, Mayor, that he
Okay.
will be on our YouTube tonight.
Yeah, we need to change the, where it's gonna be on the YouTube channel at the beginning. Also, that's about it I've got. Again, thank you all for what's going on. Busy time in St. James, so, again, that's all I have this evening. Anyone have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Mark makes a motion.
I'll second.
Steve seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you all.
Should have voted
Is it a no?
And I'm sorry I typed
Negative.
Cook Station instead of Cook Shack.